So
I want 2.5% now of your 2.5%.
Yeah.
We're all getting percentage if you get this
I
stuff.
don't think he's going to get it.
He's going to get it. Hello, and welcome back to Toronto's #1 real estate podcast. This is the Price to Sell podcast, powered by Neighborhood Creative. I'm your host, Matthew Campoli. And today, we have a very, very special guest. Very talented female entrepreneur, realtor in the city, absolutely crushing it. She goes by the name of Marina F. Stathiadis, aka your realtor Marina on Instagram, aka my girlfriend. And she's here today and joining us and going to share some advice and knowledge on how she crushes it. So welcome.
Thank you.
Also your first podcast, so
my first podcast.
Her left hand is shaking
I'm a little bit nervous here.
It's okay. You're going to do well. You're fine. So tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Okay, well, my name's Marina, as you know, and I grew up in Toronto in the East End. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably already know that I'm obsessed with the East. But yeah, I've been in real estate for about 5 years now. I think we got our license at the same time.
Yeah, probably.
Same time.
Yeah. I think you stalked me. That's why.
I did not. I did not stalk him.
I'm kidding. That was a joke.
Yeah.
Good. So you focus on what areas are you service?
I'm throughout
mainly?
the GTA, but I try to focus a lot on the East, but it's wherever my clients kind of want to go.
That's awesome. So let's dig into the East a little bit because you're very bullish on it.
Okay.
Grew up there.
Yeah.
That's all you talk about.
Yeah.
Sometimes too much.
Yeah.
Kidding.
I convinced you to move there.
You did.
Okay.
I do agree. It's a great area. So for people who aren't familiar with East End, give us a little bit of information, insight into, why the East End for you.
Okay, besides the fact that I'm a little bit biased because I grew up there, but you just have a lot of different culture. Like you have the Danforth, you have Leslieville, which caters to, a lot of families and stuff like that. You have the beaches, you have Sugar Beach. It's kind of like city living, but you're not in the chaos of like the core of downtown Toronto.
Yeah, agreed. I agree.
I think it's a good place to raise a family too, because there's just like so much diversity.
Yeah, it's really cool. Very cool area. And in terms of investments, like, what do you think?
Investment wise, I don't think you can go wrong in the East End. I have a lot of investors who like to look for like severable land in the East because prices are just insane. So if you can find something that you can kind of sever and split, or even if you just want to like flip it, you're in a good standpoint.
And you work with a lot of investors, right?
I do work with
work with a lot of builders, investors, and land and all that kind of stuff. A lot of things I don't do, so big ups to you on that one.
Thank you.
How is it working with that kind of demographic and that, like, specializing in that niche?
You gotta like be a hard ass, because like especially being a female, they kind of like they need to take you seriously, right?
Especially builders and developers.
Especially builders. And like with builders, the thing is that they don't really have like a tie to like a certain agent. They're always looking for like the best deal. So like you kind of have to be on the ball.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And you got to just be on top of them and stuff like that, because you can lose them in a second.
Yeah, that's very true. But you've been doing well, and you've been very successful with builders.
Thank you.
I think you built a very good reputation with multiple. You have a very good clientele base of builders and finding them good investments with, especially as of late, you've done a couple of really cool deals with properties that can be severed and stuff like that. So a lot of work goes behind those deals. A lot of people may not know. Yeah. So to kind of niche down on that kind of stuff is very good. Very good.
Thank you.
Proud of you.
Thank you.
So I want to get into what you just mentioned. You just touched on the fact that, especially being a female agent working with someone like a builder, I want to get into females in real estate, generally speaking. It's a pretty equal split, I'd say. They're right down the middle in terms of men in real estate, women in real estate.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say there's like, one kind of overpowering the other. Tons of female entrepreneurs, realtors in the business. But being a female in the business, what challenges do you guys face on a day in and day out basis?
Well, especially with social media, we're faced with like people constantly reaching out to us that maybe are asking that to go see a property, but then you kind of have to figure out if they're serious or if they're not serious, because it can get a little bit dangerous and stuff, right? So
Definitely.
especially like men reaching out, and they're just reaching out because they see your Instagram page and they see your pictures and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I get calls at like 3 a.m. sometimes from like random numbers on WhatsApp, and I have to like block them because it gets annoying.
Yeah. And I know, like, you hear a bunch of horror stories out there. You know, male clients may be making advances on the female real estate agents, or, you know, late night showings, and, you know, just safety at risk here.
Yeah.
What are, especially for other female agents out there, or agents who may not, or females who may want to get into the business but have those fears, like, what are some tips and advice you'd give them?
So I would definitely say, if you're doing a showing in the evening with somebody that you've never met before, it's probably best to try to meet them at a coffee shop first, just to get a feel as to like who they are. And then you'll kind of know if they're serious or not. And then I would say definitely let people know where you're doing your showings, and share your location with somebody. So if they don't hear from you for like 30 minutes, maybe they'll realize something's up, right?
Yeah.
You always have to be cautious.
And anything else?
For
Just to kind of vet, like, how do you know that this person's legit? Especially if it's a random guy reaching out to you.
Have a phone call first, then meet with them in person. Also, see if they're pre-approved. If they're not pre-approved, don't even waste your time. Like, talk to their mortgage agent or hook them up with your mortgage agent, and kind of go from there, rather than just like taking them out right away. It's not worth the sale if they're not safe to be around.
For sure. And then in terms of, let's say, a first showing, are you going to go take them to see a property? Are you going alone, or do you have any? It
depends. If I've done like all my back work and I've kind of like met with them at the coffee shop first and everything, I don't mind going alone. I've done it before where I have, or sometimes just bring somebody and have them wait in the car with you.
Okay.
For you, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
I feel like you might have some interesting stories, though. I'm sure a lot of female agents deal with a lot of BS out there.
Yeah.
So, any interesting stories to share?
So I had somebody from my high school reach out to me, and it's been like 10 years since I've seen them, I guess, or maybe longer. And they asked to go see a property. And then it ended up like, I got a weird vibe from it, so I didn't end up doing that. And I ended up having to get a restraining order on him because he found out where I lived and was leaving notes on my car and just sending me emails nonstop, calling me, FaceTiming me. And it got a little bit, like, it was a little bit scary. So being a female and kind of living on my own, I had to take the next steps. And then I ended up finding out that he was doing it to other female realtors as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure it happens to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And would you say, like, do you think that, I mean, it's hard to stay private. You know, you can easily just block your profile, for example, on Instagram.
Yeah.
But as an agent, you want to be out there. You want to be exposing yourself. And unfortunately, when it comes to these kind of situations, you have to have your information ready to go. Your phone number's there, email is there, your account is open. So, I mean, it's tough, but you guys are strong. I feel like you have it pretty down packed on how to
carry bear mace on me.
Bear mace works.
It works.
She used it on me once.
I actually sprayed it at him once.
Yeah, I'm not even kidding. So.
Okay.
Do you have any female agents that you look up to?
I would say I love Tracy Tudor. So she's like a hard ass, and she does it all without having to like do that whole sex sells thing. And I really, really like appreciate that from like her stuff. She also has a family, and she's just like killing it. I know it's a kind of like a celebrity, but yeah, she's like one of my idols, I would say, in real estate.
Nice. Are you trying to be like her?
Yeah.
Trying to be a boss bitch.
Boss bitch.
Love it. I love it. So you're very, very relevant on social media.
Thank you.
You've exploded this year, especially with just your organic reach is incredible. Your engagements are really good. You know, you go on you can tell those accounts that, you know, by their followers, or, you know, just you tell when something's up, right?
Yeah.
But yours is like, your engagement's insane. You get crazy amount of likes, people commenting all the time. A lot of people just love you.
Thanks.
Right? And I want them to love me.
They do love you.
I know, I'm kidding. But so as a female on social media, again, like, you want to get the attention, but you want to get the right attention, right? And I feel like you do a good job of that because it's not like you're posting, photos where you're showing off too much skin or stuff like that just to maybe
get
that attention or attract the wrong client.
Yeah.
So I feel like you're actually attracting the right client by the way you post and the way you carry yourself on Instagram.
Yeah.
So for any, let's say, females out there who are looking to up their game or aspiring agents looking to up their game as a female, what are some tips and tricks you would say or do's and don'ts on Instagram or social media for females?
Personally, I just have never been the type of person where I like to show off too much. I'm always like self-conscious about that because I'm always like, am I showing too much? Is it professional? So yeah, it's a little bit of a balance sometimes showing who I am and then also keeping it professional so I don't attract that because I can easily post a bikini picture and then gain a whole new type of clientele or followers, but I don't that's not my style. So I would just say, be real. I'm real. I feel like I just try to be as honest as possible on social media and show that I'm also a real person and I enjoy going out and having fun, and I'm normal, maybe too much this weekend actually. I feel so
Let's
bad
not
for
talk about this weekend. How about that one? Yeah. We'll keep that one off the books here.
Still recovering, people.
First weekend out, first opening weekend, she got a little excited.
Too excited.
It is what it is. Might have had to carry her a little bit. It's fine.
Maybe.
She's here today. She's on the podcast. She's good. She's still selling homes, guys.
Yeah, still selling homes.
She's good.
Back to the grind. And being professional, keeping it 100% real. I feel like it's also 80% personal, 20% business is what I try to post.
Yeah, I think you do a good job with that.
Yeah.
You recently made a really cool video.
Yeah.
/ kind of commercial.
Yeah.
Which did very well, and I think it showed you're the real you. And I'm huge on being yourself. You know how I am. Just be your authentic self. You will gain proper traction that way.
Yeah.
How do you stand out as a female on social media?
I think a lot of people can see that I'm genuine. So I try my best to reply back to everybody, in the DM. Sometimes it can get a little bit overwhelming, but the feedback that I get is people are just always saying that I'm inspiring them and they're asking me questions about how they can get into real estate. So it's just about being 100% authentic and being myself.
And you get majority of your business from socials?
I say, referrals too.
Yeah, you have a good referral base too.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
And I think that's largely in part because of your page and how you are as a person.
Yeah.
So good job on that one.
Thank you.
Very welcome.
Thank you.
Let's get into balancing life a little bit here.
Okay.
So obviously with our busy schedules, it's super tough to, let's say, you could have a social life, but still we're very back to back, always on call, stuff like that. What do you do that helps keep your life in check? You still have time for yourself, still have time for your relationship, all that kind of stuff. What do you do to really balance that super busy realtor schedule?
So I set I have a routine, I would say. So
very important.
Yeah, I like to go to the gym at a certain time every single day, and I try not to schedule anything. So that's my me time. So yeah, somebody might want to see a property, but if it's crucial and I have to show it, I'll show it. But if not, I like to, because when I go to the gym, let's say, it makes me better for my clients. So that's my me time that I need in order to better service my clients and stuff like that. So yeah, just sticking to a routine, trying to eat healthy. It's not when you're hungover though, that's for sure. And I don't know. After a certain time, my phone is on do not disturb. I like to have my me time. It's really important.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of females, especially at different stages in their lives, you have females with mothers with kids.
Yeah.
Right? Whatever they're going through, maybe they're single mothers with kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or because a lot of people get into real estate after the fact. A lot of people are, they have a career first and then they just, something switches in their head and they say, okay, you know what? I'm 35, but this is not for me. Real estate seems like a fun job. Let me get into it. And at that stage in their life, they're already with a family, dealing with whatever knows. But I feel like females might have to carry a little more responsibilities, especially when it comes to having a family and kids and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So what would you say, like, to help females out there kind of balance? What do you think the most important thing for time management with real estate would be?
I get writing out like a schedule and like having like your routine. So if you know you're doing certain things every single day at a certain time, don't like block that out. Like that is considered an appointment, for instance. And just kind of like sticking to that. Like if you know you have to pick up your kids at 3:30, you have to pick up your kids at 3:30, right?
Yeah. Just not being a yes man.
Not being a complete yes man.
Yeah, I was so bad at that in the beginning.
I was so trying to help him fix that because he really needed help with it. We would be watching a movie at like 10 o'clock at night and he would pick up his phone. I'm like, can we just finish the movie?
But it was ringing.
No.
It was buzzing.
Do not disturb.
But I get excited when it buzzes. Yeah, I've gotten a lot better at that.
I'm not negligent either. I'm on the ball too, but like there's a certain line you don't cross after a certain time.
Well, our time is valuable.
Your time is valuable.
A simple trick, we actually learned this the other night with other realtor colleagues we were with, is to put a value to your hours. Like give yourself an hourly amount of value. Breaking down your recent commissions. I don't know the math the guy did, but ultimately you get a number which gives you how much you're worth per hour and the way I kind of want to view things moving forward now. And any realtors out there who need help kind of saying no is think of yourself as, for example, worth $500 an hour. If you're on a phone call that, that took maybe half an hour, is that phone call really worth your time at that moment in time? Could it wait? Could you prolong it to maybe later that night and do something else with that half hour to really make that $500? So I think it's super important for us to stay organized in that respect.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, cool. So I do this with all my guests, and I like to get different opinions and different insights into the Toronto market and where you think it's headed or where they think it's headed for the rest of 2021. So right now we're in June. Stress test just came out, and we are, in my opinion, seeing a bit of a cool down. Where do you see the market headed in the rest of the year 2021?
I think we're definitely going to still see an increase in it just because of the immigration we're expected to have coming in. So I think for 2021, what I read was it was 410,000, and then 2022 was another 411 or something. So overall, though, we're going to have a lot of immigration.
I think it's 1.2 million over like the span of
3 or 4 years, I think. Yeah. So I think that will definitely drive our market up. I think that with the new stress tests, people are going to have that like less pre-approval amounts, so I think we'll see the condo market kind of peak a little bit more again because it did take a little bit of a hit this year. But yeah, I think the market will stay strong.
Awesome. And you are currently working on getting your mortgage license.
I am.
Why is this?
I want to better service my clients. I want to understand everything about mortgages.
That's awesome.
Even if I don't practice it as much, I want to definitely like know everything I can about it.
And do you think that's something for everyone?
I mean, knowledge is power. So even if you want to just learn about it, it's good to learn about it, right? Or like appraisals, stuff like that. Maybe.
Yeah. Very true.
Yeah.
Good for you. You're really managing here with your time.
Thanks.
That's awesome.
Thanks.
Okay, so we have, as we've been picking up our traction through Instagram, we have some fans now.
Okay.
And we received some questions for you specifically.
Okay.
For this episode.
Okay.
So I have 3 here that our viewers would like you to answer.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
So, question number 1. The best advice for an aspiring agent?
I would say work for a realtor, a top realtor in your neighborhood before or while you're getting your license or before you get your license, because you'll learn how to do like CMAs, you'll learn how to go to properties, you'll know like the process of like what you need to do. So that's what I did actually. I was working at Joey's as a server. Love that restaurant, by the way.
Shout out Joey's.
Shout out Joey's. And I was also working for a top agent in Markham at the time.
Okay.
So I learned everything before I was even licensed. And it helped me out so much once I finally got into real estate.
So finding that mentor prior or while you're getting your license.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Kind of picking up, seeing someone who's already succeeding.
Yeah.
And kind of following in their footsteps and seeing what they're doing right to make things work.
Yeah.
Because you kind of hit the ground running when you started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And another good thing is like try to find a brokerage that maybe provides you with leads. So like there's a bunch of brokerages out there. It's a good stepping stone because you kind of get comfortable with, meeting people, and it's people that they're sending to you, right? So it's easy to hit some goals money wise if you're working for a company that kind of helps you out with like lead gen and stuff like that.
Yeah. And you were a part of a brokerage that did that when you first started.
Yeah.
And who are you with now? We never mentioned this.
I'm with PSR.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. King Street.
Toronto girl.
So next question. What should newer agents do to lead gen?
Facebook ads are obviously amazing.
Okay.
You can hire like a third party company to do it for you. Or if you're good with marketing, you can do it yourself. And it's just basically being on top of like the leads that come in after. And then eventually you might not even need to do that anymore because you're just going to keep getting repeat business.
From those leads?
Yeah. And yeah.
What did you do to lead gen?
What, at the beginning?
Yeah.
So I worked for condos.ca at the beginning.
Okay.
Property.ca is the brokerage. They were amazing. I think I did like 45 to 50 leases in my first year.
That's incredible.
It was a lot of work. I did a lot of driving around, and I learned how to like master leases.
Yeah, you did.
From it. Yeah. And then I switched over to, I think, Royal LePage, and joined a team. So that kind of helped out too, because then you got that like help from a team lead. And then, I used bold leads for a while, got a good ROI back on that. But then I decided to now I'm not doing anything. Now I just kind of.
Now you're just you.
Now I'm just me.
You're just hitting that wave of all that work put in, and you're just getting those waves now.
Yeah, and I'm trying to study for my mortgage license, but it's kind of it's impossible to.
That's when it happens. When you think you have time, you really don't.
It really does.
Did you ever prospect? You ever get into like the cold calling and door knocking, stuff like that?
Not really.
No?
I did a little bit of door knocking, but I
probably would have closed the door on you, though, if you ever knocked on my door.
Thanks.
You're not welcome.
Whatever.
Okay. Last question. What is your favorite... I think we all know the answer to this one already, but what is your favorite area in Toronto and why?
East End.
How about besides where you grew up?
Okay, fine.
And because everyone knows East End.
Okay.
What would be another area that you're like super into or see a ton of potential in?
Well, but East End has like the beaches. We have Leslieville, we have Riverdale, we have Sugar Beach, like St. Lawrence Market. Do you want me to pick an area?
I should do an East End versus West End podcast. I should bring on someone really bullish on the West, and then you, and you're just battle it out.
Okay.
I agree with East. I agree fully. But any other areas you think?
Any other areas? I love Pickering. Love Pickering.
Okay, so outside the city.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's still East.
Let's go GTA then.
East.
Let's go GTA.
Okay.
No problem. So Pickering. Why is that?
You have the lake there. It's just like the cutest homes. It's very up and coming. I love Pickering.
And
if I'm gonna do suburb living, I would do Pickering.
And Durham's just an overall great investment too.
I love Durham. Yeah.
So I agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay. And now to end off the podcast, we do a little segment here called 30 seconds to sell yourself. Okay. Put you on the spot here.
Okay.
I already see your sweat dripping down. Why use Marina Evstathiadis as a realtor? Go.
I know probably people always say this, but like it actually isn't about the sale for me. Like it's more about making the right investment choice. So like I know it's a home at the end of the day, but I really want my clients to buy something that if they decide in 3 to 5 years they want to sell it, they're in a financial standpoint where they can upgrade to something even nicer. And I feel like I just like stress so much about like making sure they get good prices and that they're making a good investment. So you're getting authentic service. It's not, I don't care about like the sale at the end of the day. I feel like it's more about getting you guys a good investment home.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good. So you have good intentions.
Always good intentions.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
I agree fully.
I can't sleep at night if I like think that I've literally told clients like you're not putting an offer in on this property, and they'd be like, why? I'm like, it's not a good investment. Like it's not. No. And
I feel like they definitely respect you a lot more for that.
Yeah.
Because most agents would just be like, yeah, you want to buy it? Sure, let's do it.
Yeah.
I walked into properties and be like, hey guys, can we get out of here? Like, what do you mean? I'm like, it's not for you.
Yeah.
Like, okay, wow, I really respect that you just said that. I'm like, yeah, no, this isn't the one.
Yeah.
Let's leave.
That's the way to work.
Yeah.
Because then they'll trust you.
Exactly.
Imagine getting a call 3 years from now and they're like, why did you make me buy this property? And it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with that.
I know. I agree fully. I
Yeah.
agree. It's not worth it's worth the extra work.
It is
definitely
worth the extra work. Yeah.
And seeing a true happy smile on your clients and knowing that you did well for them.
Yeah. And
So I agree.
everything happens for a reason. If you don't get one property, it's because you were meant to get another one.
Exactly. I agree fully. Well, Marina, it's been an absolute pleasure. You've been awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you for sharing your insight. I think a lot of female agents out there will see a lot of value or hear a lot of value as to what you brought to the table today.
Thank you.
For anyone looking to reach out to you, where can they find you?
Instagram's probably the best way to find me. Your realtor _Marina.
Your realtor _Marina.
I almost confused myself with that one. Yeah.
So on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So anyone's looking to reach out to Marina, any of you aspiring female agents out there, reach out. She's awesome. She'll definitely lend a helping hand. Mm-hmm. She is super open to anything you guys need. So thank you, Marina.
Thank
it's been
you.
a pleasure. This is the Price to Sell podcast. Again with Matthew Campoli. Look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. Cheers.